All right, you guys, welcome to a very exciting special edition of the podcast because today we are going to be talking about the return of my favorite television show of all time, among other things. And I have invited our guest today back to the pod for several reasons. First of all, when she was on in December, she was a delight and a fan favorite. And she's somebody who I think is such a funny comic and who I love seeing at shows. And welcome back to the show. It's comedian Jessica Singer.
Hi, Rory. Hello, everybody.
How are you, my friend?
I'm so good. My cat has been... I moved some furniture around right before this, so my cat will be joining us because she's freaking out. So this is Lucy.
I think Lucy made an appearance last time.
She assumes if I'm talking and nobody's here, I'm talking to her. So whenever I'm on a podcast...
That's a fair assumption.
What's up?
Now, did you have Bruce Springsteen's junk on the wall behind you last time?
First of all, that's Mick Jagger.
Oh, okay, my bad.
But I have albums. But I do have The Boss in the corner too. So
right.
You're not 100% wrong.
Okay. What album covers the Mick Jagger one?
Sticky Fingers, and it's an original copy where like the zipper really zips.
This is giving a great oh wow.
Yeah, it's like a real zipper.
That must have been at the height of the Stones. They got zippers on albums. Oh my God, we're falling apart.
It's okay. Patti Smith has been through worse. She'll survive.
I gotta say, you're flexing your quality music taste with this decor.
I have a bunch of my dad's old records.
In my living room. I like to use vinyl as wall art as well because I've always been so fascinated with cover art, and that's something that I feel like has gotten so lost with streaming and stuff like that. But do you ever I'll have people over and I'll feel like I'm getting judged. Like they'll look at the wall of vinyls and they'll be like, oh, and I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? Like.
I know. I like that. I immediately get defensive. I'm like, they were my dad's. I didn't.
I know, but it's because it's like weirdly very vulnerable.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I also don't want to be like I did put in the work for some of them. I think I found the Beach Boys album, but yeah, there's something about it. It's also kind of another savings account, to be honest.
Love it. Well, especially the zipper one. That's. I bet you can get a lot of money for that.
Probably, but I would love to never. But yeah, I always liked dad rock. I've loved dad rock ever since I was a small child. In elementary school, instead of having a backpack, I had a messenger bag that had like the Rolling Stones emblem on it.
Oh my God, you're cool.
No, it was not. Older people would think I was cool. People my age were like, what's wrong with you?
Well, so listen, so last time you were on the pod in December, one of the things that we talked about was that when you started comedy, you were told early that people would put you up first and ask you to host things a lot because what I was sensing is you're a very inclusive stage presence. But I hadn't seen. I was just like noticing that about you as a comic, but I hadn't done your show, Can of Comedy, yet at that time. And then I got to watch you host a show, and I was like, oh, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. Like you were the host that I was expecting you to be.
Oh,
and
good.
I had a great time doing that, and as a result, like it illustrates how much that affects the audience and the reception that the other comics get. Because especially when you're going up first and you're warming them up. There can be some heavy lifting. Do you find that the crowd at that show is always really good and enthusiastic, or is it because you put the legwork in at the top of the show?
Probably a little bit of both. I don't want to take 100% credit, but I did make the show I want to see in the world. You know?
That's what they say about art. You're supposed to make the art you want to see. Yeah.
So I made the show / mic that I would want to perform at. And
well, it was a blast, and I you know how when you do a show and you listen to a bunch of comics do a bunch of material, you're listening, but like by the time you get home, you maybe remember like one joke. Like it's almost like it's like so much to intake, and then you don't remember. Even if like you loved somebody's set, like I won't
100%.
retain it. But what I remember about watching you that night is that I remembered a lot of your material. Like I was like, oh, I love that one about the breast reduction. Oh, I love that one about going to Weight Watchers with your mom, your hot. I love that you were like with your hot mom. I was like the way that was worded was so like you. I don't know. I enjoy, and also you're a comic who like. You can tell you're having fun, even if you've done those jokes a million times. Like you keep them fresh.
Thank you. Yeah, all my jokes are honest because of my memory. So I'm just like, if it's not a lie, I don't have to remember it. You know what I mean? It's just
well, and I always have said too that the best jokes are easy to remember. Like,
Yeah.
because it's like music lyrics. They're rhythmic and they're in your head. And so it's an outside show, which sometimes can be tricky because the laughs dissipate into the sky. And also,
Oh, no,
it's
you
near
froze
the
on my
Burbank
end.
Airport where there's planes. And you did a really funny riff about it because there had just been that news story that there's concern about the Burbank Airport's air traffic situation, and you just did like a funny riff about like, oh, I hope the next plane crash happens.
I can't hear you.
Oh no, did my audio cut out?
There you
Are we back?
for a second, but you're back.
We're so back. I was just laughing about.
Yeah,
the
tell
riff
me
you-
what my riff was again. No, I'm
was
just
about-
kidding.
Well, because they were warning people that there was air traffic concerns at Burbank Airport, and you were like, "I hope the next plane crash happens right above us." Like what a fucking like as though it's unsettling enough to have planes above you. Like the idea of that happening. But that was really funny. And then you texted me a few weeks ago that you had a dream about being on this podcast.
I don't even remember.
Oh my god, that means
Oh,
you and I-
that's right. Oh my god.
So, okay, let me set the scene for people.
I consume too much cannabis. Literally, if I didn't tell you, that memory would be gone.
Well, I was just going to say, I was literally just about to say, clearly you and I smoke the same amount of weed because I do the same thing. And also, don't you feel like as a comic, I say so much shit I don't remember. Like, people tell me all the time, like, things I said on this podcast, and I'm like, what? And then, like, or like when you listen back to a set and you're like, that wasn't a joke I wrote. I just said that.
Literally, you bringing back even the stuff with going to Weight Watchers with my hot mom. I was like, oh yeah, I do have to work on that. I forgot I talked about that.
Well, listen, that's what other comedian friends are for, is reminding you of the jokes that fall through the cracks.
Yeah, didn't I had an anxiety dream about this podcast, right?
Yes, so
Didn't,
what
like,
you said,
something-
yes, you said that you were like, I don't. Okay, so let me set the scene because it's morning on a
right.
weekday. I am at urgent care dealing with a medical situation that was rather embarrassing, but has since been resolved. And you said, hey, I don't know if like dreams or like if you read into dreams at all, but I had a dream that I was on your podcast and I bombed really hard. And for some reason I took my Invisalign out during the podcast. And then you said you were also bombing while telling a story about another dream you had.
Yes.
Well, okay, so here's my thing with dreams.
Yes.
I have such fucked up dreams that I can't read into them too much because I'm like, that's really not like the sex dreams about people you don't want to have sex with, like all that kind of thing. But I also like when I have dreams about people, I want to tell them, and I'm always kind of like crushed when like they don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Where they're like,
I felt like if anyone would care, you would care.
I loved it.
Yeah.
It's like it serves my ego. I'm like, she's dreaming about the podcast? Yeah.
I was like, I have enough in common with Rory where I felt like if he would tell me this story, I would want to hear it. So I think he would want to hear it.
And I got the opportunity to tell you what I was at urgent care for, and I was like, I think we just unlocked a new level of friendship. Like, I think we just got closer. So I already know that I like you, and I already know that you're really funny, and then I find out that you love a show that means the world to me, and it's The Comeback, starring Lisa Kudrow, which she created with Michael Patrick King, and I was a fan of So it's just returned for its third season, 20
Yes.
years after its first season. And I
Yeah.
remember when it first came out, feeling like I was the only person who knew about it, and I was so obsessed with it. And I remember thinking, like, of the Friends, I always felt like, of the cast of the show Friends, that Lisa Kudrow made the most interesting movie choices. Like when, they were all, it was such a commercial show and it was such a mainstream show, and then she goes off and does like Clock Watchers with Parker Posey and Romy and Michelle with, it's just like all of these really cool movies. And what it showed me early was that Lisa Kudrow can do mainstream, but where her interests lie is niche, cult, indie stuff. And it's really rare that somebody can master both. And I just remember always being like, and I kind of had a crush on her too, and I was just like, man, she's so funny. And then the comeback comes out, and people don't really know what to do with it, because it was all about how reality TV was going to threaten sitcoms, and it was also before the Housewives, and we got to like
early. It was during like the Osbournes
Yes.
and like Real World, and like reality TV was even before the like Wild West of, because I would call the Wild West of reality TV the like I Love New Yorks and Flavor of Loves and Surreal Life era. It was before it even became like the monster it is.
Well, and it was also before that, like, because I'm not really a Bravo person, but like what I have seen happen in the culture is like we're used to watching older women behave outrageously on reality TV for attention, and then it's what used to be humiliating is now like the fast track. Like it's like, but before that happened, that Lisa Kudrow was making this fascinating commentary on people who are willing to humiliate themselves if it means elevating their the attention on them, and people found it to be so cringe, and people had a hard time watching it, and I was like, no, this is brilliant and hilarious. And I think she was Lisa Kudrow was asked why gay people understood it sooner, and she was like, well, because first of all, the diva of it all, right? Underdog. But also it was because gay people understand what it's like to be like marginalized and like humiliated, but also, okay, so is that all I have to go through? Does that mean I can get on TV? Like, does that mean I can have success? Because okay, and like, because
that's all? I've done that for free before. I'll do it.
And what everybody was seeing as cringe, like, we didn't see Valerie as a victim. We saw her as like a persistent, triumphant survivor. And so I wanted to ask you, when did you find the comeback, and what did you think when you first saw it?
I found the comeback in college, which is like, it was right before the second season came out.
Oh, beautiful.
So I saw the first season I'm 33 now, and I watched it when I was like 20, so like 13 years ago.
Yeah.
And it blew my mind. I was like, how has no one told me about this? Is how I felt when I found season 1.
I think part of the misunderstanding too is that, like, if you were there are so many people who are friends of fans who think that that's like Lisa Kudrow's like a sitcom person, and and also Michael Patrick King was coming off of Sex and the City, so they joke, they're like, people were expecting Phoebe and Manolos, and it wasn't that at all. You know what I mean? And so what was really cool about it was, and I feel like it can be this way with music too, like sometimes it's this weird line between like, you want everybody to know about this thing that's so great, that's underrated, but it's kind of yours. You know what I mean? Like, it's your thing. Like, you're in on it. So what was really cool to watch was, because the first season was before social media. By the time the second season comes out in 2014, and now we're on Instagram, and it's pre-TikTok, but like what I believe happened was it was a word of mouth over 20 years situation, where like it used to be that nobody knew about it, and then the cool people knew about it, and then comedians knew about it, and then it was sort of like this shorthand, like just like what we're doing right now. Like when I found out that you knew about the comeback, I was like, we can talk all night. Like because it's almost like it's one of those things that like it can like instantly boost your opinion of a person. Oh, that's what you think is funny, and that's why I love talking about comedy with comedians, because sometimes like that's how I form friendships. Is that comedian, like that they're thinking about this on the same angle that I am. You know, were you already doing stand-up when you came across the comeback?
I had done stand up maybe like 3 times, but I was a film major. So I think someone had recommended it to me based off other stuff I had liked. And then
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I was like, this stuff like this is happening?
Well,
And it's so hard to find like female led, like gritty comedy. Like that doesn't,
And also,
you know?
I think people were very uncomfortable with the idea that, like, it was sort of like commenting on how women in the industry are treated before
Yeah,
they were
it's
really
so.
ready to talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, my friend who's watching this season right now, she was like, I don't really remember the first 2 seasons. Were they as like political and like in their messaging as this? And I was like, yes, they were. It was
But
all
what's
about
so-
her being in an older woman's body, an older quote in quotes, because in the first season she's not even. She's like what, 40, maybe?
But at the time, and this is part of their commentary, which was
Yeah.
in 2005 at the time, if you were 40, you were essentially put out to pasture as
Yeah.
a woman. And I don't know if you remember in the second season, but there's a really funny, there's a line that's written for her by Polly G that she references her old woman's pussy, and so then like a fan comes up to her and wants to take a picture. He says, "Say old woman's pussy on 3," and Valerie goes, "Well, not going to say that." But takes the picture.
Yes, of course.
When I tell you how often I fall into Valerie voice on the day-to-day, well, that's all right, dear.
That was what my other friend was saying too. She was like, I didn't realize how many. It's the well. It's that she
Jane,
just.
can't use this. Can't use this.
Okay. Or
Like-
even like people that watch Drag Race don't realize that hello is from the comeback.
Right. Well, I mean, particularly in gay culture, Valerie is so entrenched. But, like, yeah, what I love about that's all right, is she's indicating to you that you've annoyed her, but that she's being a good sport about it. That's what I love. What I love about Valerie is, like, her delusional sense that she gets to control a situation so much more than she can, you know? And always through the lens of making herself look good in it.
Yes.
Well, that's all right, dear. I'm a bigger person.
I think the parts of myself that I'm embarrassed about are like amplified by Valerie Cherish and like celebrated by Valerie Cherish, and I really love that. I had a coworker just tell me last week that he's quote unquote never heard me complain, and the way you said that's how I'm like, oh, that's how I'm complaining.
It's so funny that you said that. Yeah, like the way that she sort of glamorizes, like, so something that I always talk about, and I was talking about this with Drew, Drew Landry and Candace
Of course.
Barlaro. And
Yeah.
they were on the podcast a few weeks ago, and we were talking about how comedians just get so used to being humiliated. Like the gigs we do where there's fucking nobody there, and there's just like, and actors, I always feel like, are in this like smoke and mirrors of glamour, and we're just in the reality of like, yeah, it's humiliating all the time. And what I think I've actually spoken to my therapist about this exact thing, is that Valerie Cherish was a really good role model for me, because her MO is sort of like but if I can get through it, then and so that's something that, like, whenever I'll have a like career moment where I'm like, fucking really, like, where you're just like made to feel like that you don't matter, or you get passed up or whatever, which I've had a lot of recently, where like I've had some like close, almost got a thing and then didn't, and then I just think of like Valerie Cherish. Well, that's all right. Didn't want to do it anyway.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Valerie quote is from a DVD extra from the first season.
Oh
But
wow,
it's
deep cut.
But because of TikTok, it like makes the rounds.
Oh.
And so she says, "Well, what have I been up to? Well, I've had some exciting new career offers. I was recently offered a made-for-TV movie about a woman who gets raped by her entire town, including her dad and brother." And she says, it would have been a nice dramatic turn, but shot in Nova Scotia, so. And this is the line. This is the line that kills me. Well, get raped all day, no place nice to have dinner. And I was like that lives rent free in my head. Get raped all day, no place, nice step dinner.
That's
And that's
so
but like
funny.
but like in Valerie's mind, like, oh, but if there was a Dantana's, or if there was like a nice, like,
Yes.
oh, okay.
If there was a nice place to unwind afterwards, she'd be.
And it's so interesting too how, like, so the first season was all about the threat of reality TV. The second season, she's cast in like one of those like prestige dramedies on HBO that she ends up winning an Emmy for. And then this season is all about the threat of AI. And it's so, it's, do you ever, when there's a new album from one of your favorite artists, so my diva of choice is Mariah. When there's new Mariah music, I always feel like, oh my God, it's so weird to be listening to Mariah stuff that I'm not familiar with yet.
Yeah.
That I don't know all the words to. With the comeback, I'm noticing with this season, like, because I just watched the third episode last night, I'm like a little bit stressed because I'm like, I don't know, I'm not familiar with the material yet. Like, and so I'm curious how much of, if any, of the new season you've seen so far.
Oh, I'm caught up. Oh, girl.
Okay, I love that.
You think I'm gonna not do my homework?
Oh my God, I adore you. So something that happened was the actor who played Mickey, her confidant, bestie hairdresser, died in the last 10 years since the second season. He was apparently very ill with stage 4 cancer when they shot season 2, but they said that during the course of shooting season 2, his cancer stopped spreading because he was like working and like happy, like, so, which is the way the
That
comedy,
gives me goosebumps.
Because, and Conan always says, he's like I feel like sometimes like being in front of a really good audience is like an injection of antioxidants, like it like truly heals. So but he, like, so while Valerie gets shit on by the industry, the writers, the producer, everybody, the other actors, Mickey is this, like, and of course he's an older gay man, is her confidant, her favorite gay. And people did, like, I just remember thinking, oh, well, now we can't have the comeback without how do we have Valerie without Mickey?
100%.
But and Lisa Kudrow said it like took her years to like even consider doing it again. But also, what an interesting thing to explore how Valerie processes such a profound loss. And so not only is it a commentary on the industry, it's also a commentary on like this woman who represses a lot and spins a lot and doesn't deal with a lot as it's happening. So episode 3 of the new season is all about like essentially her. It's clear that she's not processed this loss, and when I tell you I cried.
I was looking to ask if you cried. I cried. When she found it? Did you cry when she found it?
Like, I texted somebody, I was like, I didn't know I could cry like that. Because, like, I have a lot of shame around crying, and I'm toxic masculinity, gay kid stuff. And because I just feel like I don't want anybody to ever see it. But, like, I really cried during Heated Rivalry, and I really cried last night watching. Because you know what it was for me? It was, so, not spoilers, but Mickey died of COVID in the early days of COVID where people couldn't visit people in the hospital. Or
COVID OG, she likes to call it.
COVID OG. And it's like she's talking about something so heavy, but she's doing it in the classic Valerie cadence. Well, couldn't be there. It wasn't there. Wasn't there. And then like, it's so, I can relate to being somebody who sort of disassociates with like intense negative feelings, and we know that's what she does, and it's that shot when and this is so beautifully done when the reality cameras catch her in a mirror, so she's not performing to camera at all, she's pushing away, and I don't think we had ever seen Valerie with such raw hurt and emotion. Like, she really breaks down. Yeah. And I was like, because also it's not just the loss, it's like she's feeling guilt. She's feeling like he died alone, And it's just so interesting because it's such a smart show. It's such a funny show. And then to bring it to that level of like emotion out of me, I was just like, what? This show gives me everything.
Yeah. No, it's a beautiful program. It's so, like you said, it's so smart. I love something that can be so smart and still have like dumb, silly moments. That's always my favorite content that exists.
Well, I love
And
too, like the how Jane, the character of Jane,
I
is
love Jane.
such a. I love their relationship because like Jane is a perfect foil for Valerie, but she loves Valerie secretly. So, like, there's a scene in season one where actually it's the first time we see Valerie cry when she talks about how she had a metal rod in her back and she wasn't allowed to be on the field hockey team, and then they wouldn't let her be in the picture, and she breaks down because it's like her original trauma that probably made her an actress to begin with, and then we see a reflection of Jane who's wiping a tear away and is like, get the fucking camera off. Like, she doesn't want to be caught having an emotion, but she really, like, she's there for Valerie in a way that's, like, so sweet, even though she's also the person who's a reality check for Valerie a lot of the time, too.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that actress is Sarah Silverman's sister.
Oh yeah, she's great. She plays it I mean everyone in that show plays so naturally. Like, you just feel like that's who that person is.
I feel like in a lot of situations too, like I love the and I wonder if as a comedian you're this way too. Like I purposely surround myself with people who give me like Jane energy back. Like like for example, in season 2 when Valerie has to go convince Jane to work with her again, and she finds out Jane has an Oscar, and so she starts holding Jane's Oscar and taking pictures with it, and she goes, "Jane, I'm taking pictures with your Oscar." And Jane says, "I know, I'm right in the room." Like, that's how my friends talk to me. Like, you idiot.
I would say that's exactly how my sister talks to me. And I love that for both of us.
So my ex became my best friend, and we lived together for longer after we broke up than we were together. And what was born out of it was a very shtick. It was all about him making fun of me.
Yeah.
It was so fun. Like, me being dumb and him. And it's like, I think as comics, we're like, wait, there's something here. Like, it's not about, like, ego or, like, you're right or I'm wrong. It's more like wait, be mean to me. That was good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%. Like, I got
love that about
attention
comedy.
and that was a joke. Do it again.
Well, and like the thing about when I was in the urgent care and I was like giving you very personal information, like I was realizing I was like, there's something about I can say anything to other comics if we're gonna find the funny in it. Like, don't you find like
100%.
the shit like you talk about super personal stuff on stage, like it's shit that I wouldn't say in other places, but I'm just like, oh, but I'm with comics.
Well, and that's the thing is my show / mic is in the parking lot of my place of work. And I'll literally say all these things because I'm so comfortable on stage. And then as soon as I get off stage, I'm like, oh, I have to see those people regular style tomorrow.
Have they questions?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like...
Well, because, so one thing that I get all the time is okay, so when non-comics ask, like, so how much of that is true? You know what I mean? Like, and I always hide behind it's not my memoir, it's my act. Like, there's writing involved. But the truth is, like you said earlier, most of it's actually true.
Yeah, 100%.
But has it caused any weird work? Or is it just fun?
No, I'll just be like, oh shit, I probably shouldn't talk about cum. Like, that probably wasn't. Because now, like, regulars that shop there are also coming, which is great. I love it. But then I'm like, now you know my relationship with Israel, and I hope that is okay.
Well,
it's bad.
okay.
I don't like it. I don't like Israel. Okay, sorry. Let me clarify what that relationship is.
I wasn't gonna, in my head, I was like, anybody can take that as whatever they want to take that as.
No, I want it to be clear. Because here's the thing is, like, I'm so Jewish culturally, and, like, people that can usually tell if they can tell. And I've had a lot of people come up to me and want to talk about Israel in a positive way because they assume I'll be on their side.
Okay.
And so I need to be, yeah. People are like, why do you keep yelling about how you're anti-Zionist on stage? And I'm like, because I really want people to stop assuming the other way. Like,
That is a really interesting thing because there are assumptions that get made about all of us based on
Yeah.
like gender, ethnic background, sexuality for sure, and it's really and it's like you don't want to wonder what people are wondering about you, but you also don't want to be misunderstood. And I think
Yeah.
it's a I mean, this goes without saying, but like, and I don't want to make this too simplistic, but like, it seems like a very complicated time to be a very, like, I have a lot of love for particularly like Jewish comics who are trying to navigate. Who is it
It's so hard. It's so complicated right now. It used to be so clear.
I
I feel
want
like,
there's a comic who's like very famous, and I keep wanting to say it's Sebastian Maniscalco, but he's not Jewish. It's somebody who has like a funny long name, and he does this in like the comics that are actually like tackling like the topic right now in like to me it's like it's you know, look, I do a lot of dick jokes, and it's because I'm not talented enough to tackle like the big shit. But he you know, essentially tackling like assumptions made about Jewish comics in at this time. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's like like I can understand wanting to like go on the record. You know?
Yeah, and what a bummer that I've never understood anti-Semitism more. That I'm kind of like, I get it, but I swear, like, you're just getting
Well,
that side of the story. Like,
you know, it was so interesting. I just saw. Do you know the comic Judy Gold?
yes.
So I just this morning saw a reel she posted. She was at New York Comedy Club, and like she was dealing with a heckling situation, and then he threw out like an anti-Semitic thing, and then he got thrown out, and she was just like, it's gotten to this level, but it's like it's not just like tackling politics in comedy. It's like obviously in this moment, in this time, it's like. Do you feel like because sometimes when I get on stage, I have to wrestle with like who knows immediately I'm gay? Because by the way, when I started stand up, it was a 50-50 situation. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't do those like I know what you're all thinking jokes because not everyone was thinking the same thing about me. Do you feel like that's something that like you feel like you want to address, like your Jewishness?
I have been lately because, like, my opener is generally, not to do bits on here, but my opener is
Please.
generally like, if you can't figure out my accent, my parents are Jewish surfers. That's
I love that joke, and I just watched that joke kill at the British People show, right?
Yeah, I
That
followed
thing
a
you
British
posted.
guy, and I was like, never had a more perfect setup than that.
Oh, I love a good opener.
But so then I feel like once I say that, then I have to like be like, but I've been trying to figure. It's a voice note in my phone. I'm trying to figure out because it kind of feels like when I say I'm anti-Zionist, it's like the Jewish version of like I'm not like other girls. Like
I like that.
there's something there because when you say I'm not like other girls, you actually mean you're like most girls in that you're different. You're all different people.
Right.
And like
Right.
I do feel like most Jews I know actually are anti-Zionist, and I don't know. There's something there. It's a
No.
premise. It's a purely a premise.
I know, and I have a bunch of those right now where I'm like, I know I have a point here, but it's not funny yet. But I'll
But it's there.
Yeah, yeah.
It's there.
By the way, I believe strongly in like at this point, like if like do you ever have this too? Like I have punchlines that don't have premises. Like I'm like that's a funny line. I just don't know how to set it up.
No,
you know?
I am unless they're not like other girls. But I feel like that's the premise. I don't feel like I'm punchline first.
I'm just like it's just funny when it feels
Yeah.
backwards because I'm like
Yeah.
I'm like that because some lines just pack a punch to them, but like
Totally.
but lack context. You know what I mean? And so I just store them in the like. Okay, here's one that I'm working on right now, and maybe it'll be fun if this ever materializes. Like the idea of those situations, Valerie Cherish moments, actually, where you're so humbled in life, where you kind of, whether it's like a customer service situation or whatever, where you kind of put yourself out there and ask for something, and somebody gives you a response that makes you feel like, oh, I'll just go fuck myself then. I'll just go. So like to me like that's a line where I'm like, if I set it up right, that could be like because. punchlines are funny because, well, inherently, but, like, punchlines are funny.
They should
but, like,
be. They should be.
I think I always feel like the good ones like raise their hand. You know what I mean? Like they present, like they're like, oh, and then you never get it out of your head. But what else have you been writing about or wanting to talk about on stage lately?
Oh man, what have I been talking about? I feel like I got ghosted like a couple weeks ago again for like the first time in years, and I just can't believe we're still doing that.
Happens so much with gay
But
kids.
but I got ghosted by somebody, and it was like a setup. Like we have mutual friends.
That's not
That's
acceptable.
insane.
Yeah. Was it a situation that like seemed like it was going well?
We were literally planning the second date. I was like, let me know which one of these 2 days works for you. And he was like, yeah, I definitely want to go out again.
Well, here's two things.
And he's not dead because he's watched my stories, so now he's blocked on Instagram. Because if you ghost me, you don't get to look at my Instagram.
I have a different policy, which is keep watching. Like
It depends. Yeah, I understand that perspective as well.
I have because I mean, just in the last couple of weeks, like there was somebody who was look, I've done the fade out myself, where you like don't want to have an uncomfortable conversation, but you're probably not going to see each other again. But it's fascinating when they continue to watch every story the second you post it, but don't text you back. Like, what are you doing? Yeah.
Wild, because you're clearly on your phone.
So
we're all on our phones. Don't tell me you're not on. We're all on our phones.
Well, so I do think that, particularly in New York and LA, it's a very specific thing where people just feel like there are so many choices that they can be really into you 1 second, and then just like, oh wait, what's this other shiny thing over here? I call it over the shoulder syndrome. What? Oh, there's a hot person there too. But my therapist asked me, so very long story truncated, there was a guy who I went to college with who I never met. He had a crush on me from afar, apparently enough to remember it all this time later. And he messaged me on Instagram, and because I ended up on his For You page, and he was like, oh my God, like, I had such a crush on you, but I was so intimidated by you. And I was like, really? I was like, I wasn't that intimidating when I was 19. And my therapist, in a separate, I told him about that, and then in a separate conversation, I was talking about being ghosted, and he was like, do you think... Because I was saying, I think sometimes it's hard, like, when people find my comedy, that can be a turnoff, because they're like, oh, that's, like, too much. You know, for the same reason that
100%.
And I bet women deal with it even worse, because it's like, men don't, like, it's you're being too much. But my therapist was like, do you think men are intimidated because you're a comic? And I never think of it that way. I just think that they're turned off because I do dick jokes. But I was like, oh,
it's fully intimidating. Yeah, I think so, and I just don't even expect a man to be a straight man to be as funny or funnier than me anymore. That used to be something I looked for, and my friend Cindy was like, "It's a lot to ask a man to be funny."
I don't think it's a lot to ask a man to be funny, but it is a lot to ask a man to be funnier than you, because you're really funny.
Oh, that's very sweet. But I just want someone that can like play.
Well, that's what you know what I call that is,
and that's hard to find in and of itself.
Yeah, like I just be like, I don't need I don't need anybody to be funnier than me. But I need him to be able to like keep up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And
I'm not going to be like the jester for you. We need to be goofing about together.
Totally that.
Yeah.
But also, like, I think you and I have this in common. Like, when you have a big personality, it requires a guy to be able to like handle it all. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's sort of like I am not for I there are all sorts of generalizations that can be made, but like there are certain types of guys who can look at me and go, that's too much, and then there are certain types of guys who look at me and go, oh, that's funny,
yeah,
oh,
100%. Well, and I feel like I and you as well, probably in dating, requires someone who's very like confident and knows themselves. And I feel like, and I have been writing jokes about this, but in the last 5 years, almost every guy I've dated is bi. And I feel
I love
like,
that.
yeah, I'm not seeking them out, but it's just the only kind of people that like are intrigued by me and see it as not off-putting and are instead like, oh, I welcome this, I celebrate. Because after my last boyfriend, which was years ago, I was like, I want someone who like celebrates me. I want to be fully celebrated, and I don't feel like straight men love celebrating me.
Well, it's very funny that you say that because I do extremely well with straight and DL straight experimenting by men, like men
Sure.
who are also with women. And I
Yeah,
think
we have the same type.
we have the same type. Well, we should go out together.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's there's a lot of reasons why probably, but it's very interesting what you attract versus what's your type. Do you have a type?
No, I'm so picky personality-wise that I literally, I just want them to be not as hot as me. I want to be the prettier one. So I like when guys are a little ugly. I love a guy that's a little ugly. I want him to be so grateful.
Oh my god, I am the opposite. Okay, so this is another one of those like jokes I haven't written yet things, which is I have a history of and prefer to be the less hot one in the relationship.
But you're so hot.
Oh, that's so sweet. But like I think well,
That's got to be hard.
as we're working out in therapy, I think it has a little bit to do with like validation. Like
Sure.
seeking out the unattainable, and then like I think I know I like the exercise of like winning somebody over, which comes from an insecurity, which isn't okay, right? We don't need, because then we're chasing people who don't like. Oh, well, this is it. It's that when appreciation is shown to me, what's wrong with you? I have to go win over this person who doesn't get me. So, turns out I became a comedian.
So funny. I will say the one thing I am shallow about is I teeth.
Oh. Well,
They don't need to be perfect in any way, but I need them to be. And I know this lighting doesn't look like I have white teeth, but I do.
I've seen them in person. I can confirm.
But yeah, they just need to be like not gross. Gross teeth is the only. I don't mind crooked. I love a little crooked. That's fine. But you got to have good oral hygiene.
I was just
for
gonna
me
say
to put my
hygiene-
face on your face.
Hygiene is quite a thing, and then do you know like there's this guy who's like I guess he's a neighbor slash friend with benefits, like he's stuck around longer than
Love
I thought he
it.
would. And this is the other thing too, like he's a little bit younger, which usually is kind of annoying because they're flaky and insecure, but he smells so clean.
That's
every
so
time.
important.
I know.
It's so important. Hygiene is so important.
It's a huge. I have a really sensitive sense of smell and like especially with mouths, because it's like if you've kissed somebody and they've tasted bad, like you can't forget that.
No, I want you to look like you smell bad and smell really good. That's what I want.
You know what I love, because you have a great. Oh, that I can see that. I can see that for you. You
Yeah,
kind of
I like-
a grungy
like a-
looking guy. I like, because you have a part of your joke about the breast reduction is you texting a guy that you hook up with regularly who is familiar with your boobs about feet, and I kind of love the construction of that joke, because it's like that's an interesting piece of feedback about my body. Let me talk to somebody who's seen, like, let me talk to somebody who's familiar. Like, let's get a second opinion on this. And then, like, him, like, earnestly answering your question instead of being like, why are you asking?
Yeah.
I love that joke.
Thank you so much. He's no longer on the roster, but that joke will live forever.
You know what? I love that you called it that, because it
I got no roster right now. I had 3. One didn't vote. One didn't respect my time, and then one I will tell you off air.
Okay. That's so funny because during the the last presidential election, I had been seeing this guy who was like really pursuing a relationship with me, and I was like, I was not, I was on, I wasn't ready, and then he unleashed. He didn't vote for Trump, but like he did not vote for the correct candidate, and
Sure.
it unleashed it. That was the end. But so
Yeah, no, I can't be with that.
and
If
what
you
I've
don't
learned
want
about
me
it
to
is that
have
like,
bodily autonomy, you don't get to enjoy my body.
and ultimately what I've realized too is that even though I can like hold space, like I can absolutely hold space for people who don't see things the way that I see them, like I can't be in a relationship with
Oh,
somebody.
yeah, I'll still be cordial to you. We just have a new boundary now.
Because I don't have that issue with my like friends, like where like we have to like skirt around this like thing that we don't see. Anyway, I think those are valid reasons, and I think in LA you have to be. The turnover rate can be disheartening and kind of frustrating, but like like it's like I think we all build up a thick skin where it's like oh okay bye, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'm so sorry, like
Well,
you
I'm
know.
already an Aquarius, so it's like, oh, did you think I was attached? That's hilarious.
Oh, is that an Aquarius thing that you guys don't?
100%. What's your sign?
I'm really Virgo.
Oh, I'm a Virgo rising.
Yeah, I just like it's like I have the plan, and it's
Yeah.
gonna be my plan, and that's
Yeah,
what
I love
it's gonna be.
Virgos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're intense.
Your apartment's probably very clean.
It is actually, and some people are surprised by that.
And people are
But
surprised that mine's dirty because I'm a
well,
Virgo rising, so it seems like it would be clean.
it's the illusion.
Exactly.
Well, listen, as we've entered this new tier of friendship, I am going to be part of building your hoe-tation back out to, an acceptable number of people. Listen, you got to have a couple of like a couple of
Having
days a week.
zero has been rough.
I know, because you're like, wait, I thought I had other options. You're like, I thought I had. There's this guy. I'm on the west side a few days a week, and there's this guy who lives in Venice who is from not far from where I grew up, and he's about my age, and like I'll text him like I did a couple of hours ago. Hey, it's that day of the week where I text you to see if you want to bang at the end of the day, and you have other things to do. And you say you would, but you're busy, and he's like, that's exactly right, and I was like, talk to you next week.
I'll check it. We'll circle back. We'll circle back.
We'll circle back. But like, isn't it funny too? Like those situations where like you're like, because when you're young, I feel like when we're younger, it's like, oh, always trying to make a situation into something more serious than it is. And I love the beauty of this age where I'm like, oh no, that is just what it needs to be. Like that's my friend who I have sex with sometimes. Like that's it.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Especially with men, it has to be their idea. That's my theory.
That's
It has
actually
to be
super
their idea.
good. Yeah. In that is why I haven't been able to make it happen because it's a lack of control. I have to just wait for a man to decide.
I know. No, I know. No. Because as somebody who I spent so long if this is a Virgo thing, like thinking like I got to write the story. That's what a friend said to me once. They're like, "You think you get to write the story?" And it's like, no. And I always thought too, like going back to like winning people over, like that was like how it worked. And now I'm like, it's like attract, don't chase. You know what I mean? Like it's that like. So I've learned some things at least.
Yeah, I act like it's been forever. It's been like 2 months since I hooked up with somebody. I'm like, it's been so long, but like.
Well, to that point, and this is a great way to wrap up, is that your Instagram handle for any eligible bachelors who are watching who want to send you a DM, it's Jessica420bro, right?
And if you don't think you're ugly enough, it's okay. Sometimes I sleep with really pretty guys too. So like, don't worry about it.
You are such a delight. Thank you so much for doing this and coming back on the podcast. This was so much fun.
My pleasure. Literally anytime.
All right, well, follow Jessica at Jessica420bro on socials, and your Canna Comedy show is the first Friday of every month, right?
Yeah, at High Neighbor Cannabis Club.
I want to do the next one. And until next week, you guys stay super excited. Oh my God, that was so